hands.
Initial reports from the Maritime Rescue System recorded a weak duress signal from a U.S. cargo ship near Mexican waters. The audio was faint and full of static, but still clear enough. "We are under control." Within 3 minutes, the Interagency Analysis Unit opened an investigation file, classifying this as an incident with organized, military-grade characteristics. Commercial satellite imagery captured an armed group approaching the ship in high-speed boats. The intelligence analysis team recognized familiar patterns: dark clothing, covered faces, moving in small formations consistent with the maritime wing of the Sinaloa cartel. This was no longer ordinary piracy. It had the structure of a cartel military hybrid. The Pacific Area Command Center immediately escalated the incident level to event potentially involving hostages. When all radio contact was completely cut off, the duty report recommended activating the Silent Deck Protocol, the standard initial response for events involving paramilitary actors. USS Springfield, a Los Angeles-class attack submarine on patrol nearby, received orders to change course. Its mission: track irregular AIS signals around the civilian ship's location. This was the first step in a real-world combat simulation, using a stealth platform to support data collection for a joint special operations mission. FBI analysts noticed one anomaly. The ship's positioning signal had been switched to drift mode, meaning someone on board had altered the system. This only happens when an assault team wants to conceal the vessel's track, indicating a pre-planned operation, not a spontaneous incident. The FBI Marine Operations Unit reviewed 6 months of records and found 3 previous cases where cargo ships had been approached but never reported it. The pattern was identical. Unmarked small boats appeared. Communications were disrupted, and the crew later claimed it was just an engine problem. This time, the duress signal confirmed all the doubts that had been building up. In the coordination room, the intelligence map displayed cocaine smuggling routes from the Pacific into the U.S. West Coast. One red line stood out: the Sinaloa route that had previously used container ships as cover. The fact that they were now attacking a U.S. ship showed an escalation in high-risk operational behavior. Third Fleet Command convened an emergency meeting with the FBI and Coast Guard. The lead briefer summarized the scheme. If this is the Sinaloa Maritime Wing, the primary objective is not hostages. The objective is the cargo. That changed the strategy entirely. The rescue team would have to protect the crew and preserve the smuggling crime scene. On a large steel table, specialists presented image comparisons, posture, mask patterns, weapon handling. Although tactical details were not publicly disclosed, the report concluded that the group on board was operating like a paramilitary raid team, likely trained over many years within the cartel network. The combined SEAL Team FBI HRT activation protocol was approved. The mission was defined: covert approach, prioritize hostage survival, neutralize the assault group, and collect federal evidence. The meeting ended in 11 minutes, exactly in line with the operational tempo of a military documentary-style simulation, where every decision carries real-world weight. A transport aircraft opened its rear ramp into a moonless sky. SEAL team operators and FBI HRT moved into halo positions. No dialogue, only the sound of steady breathing through oxygen masks. The tactical report noted: low visibility, high-altitude winds, suitable conditions for covert insertion. The operators dropped into the pitch-black night, their silhouettes dissolving into the air like radar noise. This is the moment that never appears in public reports, but in a military documentary, it is recreated as the pivotal step, silently eliminating any possibility of early detection by the attackers on board. Upon splashdown, the team deployed inflatable boats from their drop bundles. Large waves crashed against their helmets, but they maintained a standard V formation to minimize noise. Field analysis later stated: sound level under 35 decibels impossible to detect from the ship's deck. Below the surface, USS Springfield held a tactical standoff distance, feeding sonar data to the assault team. A reconstructed 3D map showed the cargo ship drifting without propulsion. This scenario reinforced the hypothesis that the cartel had seized the engine room to control the entire vessel. As the boats closed in on the starboard side, SEALs noticed a flashlight beam sweeping down toward the water. The operators stopped paddling and remained completely still for 3 counts. This is a near-target anti-detection technique, not described in detail, but consistent with non-descriptive operational realism. SEALs boarded at the bow. FBI HRT boarded at the stern. The report states, the team split into 2 elements, executing a dual approach to distribute risk. No gunfire, no shouting, only short, precise movements recreated like a field documentary. A sentry appeared unexpectedly. He swept his light over the sea, then turned back. A commando stood motionless in the shadows, less than 3 meters away. The note reads, danger close distance, but rules of non-initiation maintain priority is live capture. The guard noticed nothing and walked off. The team moved into the mid-deck area. Helmet cams recorded dark passageways, cargo stacked along the lanes, and wind howling through metal railings. No traps, no barricades, but the silence made every step feel taut as wire the hallmark atmosphere of a high-level hostage rescue operation. The crew quarters were on the port side. FBI HRT advanced first, using internal ship schematics pulled from the navigation system to locate the mess hall where the hostages were tied up. The simulated camera captured the door opening. Slow, noiseless, with a caption reading, "Silent entry, standard domestic maritime boarding." SEALs secured the main deck. HRT entered the crew compartment and signaled clear. 22 crew members were found bound but conscious. The first one whispered, "They're still down in the cargo hold." This was the critical transition point, shifting the operation into a confined space manhunt for armed cartel members. Information from the crew indicated the cartel group was entrenched in the hold near the refrigerated containers. SEAL teams switched to a close approach formation without direct confrontation, following low-light maritime clearance doctrine. Top priority: secure the area without endangering hostages or destroying smuggling evidence. Helmet footage showed 3 Sinaloa operatives moving between cargo pallets. No gunshots, only footsteps on metal and the smell of engine oil. The mission report reads, the assault team executed a slow encirclement, maintaining safe standoff distance to avoid triggering an armed reaction. The suspects had no idea the circle was closing. One man took cover behind a container, signaling his partners to find a way up to the deck. A SEAL watched through a vent gap and noted, apprehension window, medium risk. There was no frontal assault. The operators moved from angle to angle, retaining maximum control over the choke points. FBI HRT blocked the stairwell to the upper deck. When one cartel member rushed up, he froze at the sight of 3 operators already in firing stance. HRT did not shoot. Instead, they issued one clear, short command: put the weapon down. He immediately lay face down, a sign that the attackers' will to fight was collapsing. Hearing the commotion, 2 others tried to loop around toward port side. SEALs used navigation lights as signals, applying pressure from 2 directions without closing in. This pressure containment technique, featured in training materials, is designed to reduce the chance of a firefight in tight spaces. Both suspects surrendered quickly. The last man, believed to be the temporary commander, stood between 2 containers. He didn't fire, he didn't shout, he just looked around and saw the circle fully closed. The field report sums it up. Subject voluntarily laid down his weapon after 14 seconds of silence. For him, this battle ended not in a shootout, but in resignation. In total, 14 suspects were handcuffed and brought up to the deck. Naval forensics teams immediately sealed the cargo area. All refrigerated containers were opened under crime scene protocols. Inside, an estimated 2 tons of cocaine, tightly packed and marked with international shipping codes. The crew was moved topside first for preliminary medical assessment. Several had minor injuries, but nothing life-threatening. The simulated footage shows them leaving the dark compartments, faces grimy under harsh deck lights, but their relief is unmistakable. The operation had achieved its most important humanitarian objective. Navy helicopters evacuated the hostages to shore, while the ship was towed to San Diego for evidence processing. USS Springfield maintained overwatch until all Special Operations Forces had disembarked. This completed the interagency chain, Navy, SEALs, and FBI operating as a single integrated unit. 22 crew members safe, 14 suspects captured alive, over 2 tons of cocaine seized intact. No flashy cinematic heroics, only the cold precision of a real-world field operation.